Let's further discuss this now with Dennis Kenji Kipker. He's the research director of the Cyber Intelligence Institute and joins me live from Frankfurt. Thank you for being with us on the program. First off, let me get your thoughts on this social media ban for children of 16 years old and under. Is it something that you'd advise other governments around the world to adopt?
Yeah, this is definitely an interesting approach because the Australian government's primary concerns stem from the potential harms associated with this excessive social media use among young people. And these include mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, cyberbullying, exposure to inappropriate content, and also some addictive behaviors. And the government believes that by restricting access to social media, they can better protect children from these risks and promote their overall and well-being and development. By restricting access to social media, the government wants to create a safer online environment for young people. And additionally, there are also many other ways for teenagers to connect with friends and families, such as in-person interactions, phone calls, and other online platforms that are specifically designed for younger users. So generally, this is a reasonable approach that we see here.
But what does this now mean for these social media giants like Meta and TikTok? How will this decision impact them?
They will definitely have to change their policies in the future. So this bill is likely to contain provisions that defines social media quite broadly, potentially encompassing a very wide range of online platforms, and would come into effect in 1 year. And this is a relatively short time span that we see here. And the ban is expected to apply to social media services, including TikTok, X, Instagram, and also Snapchat, though a list of banned services has not been released yet, which is very crucial. And it may also specify the types of information that social media companies must collect to verify a user's age, such as government-issued certification. And this is a technical problem. And as for penalties, non-compliance could result in significant fines for social media companies. And the government might also impose restrictions on advertising or other main business activities of social media, or even block access to platforms that repeatedly violate this new social media law in Australia.
Right, and our correspondent earlier, she said that this may further isolate the younger generations who spend a lot of time online, particularly on these applications. But there seems to be an overwhelming amount of support to pass this legislation across the political spectrum in Australia. So my question would be, would we see other countries go down this path and adopt similar bills?
I think a lot of countries all around the world will take a look on Australia, how this works. And the chances of this bill becoming a law, they are quite sure, but in some way also uncertain and depend on several factors as well. So we have public opinion, lobbying efforts by tech companies and also advocacy groups. And the political climate in several countries of the world is not the same as we see in Australia, and this will also play a role. And while there is public support for protecting children online in many countries, concerns about enforcement and unintended consequences still remain. And the outcome of elections in several countries and further research on social media's impact on young people could also influence the fate of general legislation on social media in other countries. So ultimately, the success of such a kind of legislation in different countries of the world hinges on a complex interplay of social, political, and technological factors.
Indeed, very interesting. Dennis Kenji Kipker, thank you so much for being with me here on the NewsHour and sharing that insight with us. I appreciate it.